Robert said anything to you about
That river is
Paris
right there.
Right there.
President.
So they get a lot of water.
Good evening, everyone. It is 5 PM, August 5th, 2024. It is time to call the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order. Ms. Jones, roll call, please.
Mayor Barnett,
Present.
Mr. Austin.
Here.
Ms. Gross.
Present.
Mayor Eagle.
Thank you. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance. Okay, thank you all for coming. Is there any announcements, public comments that doesn't pertain to the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Move to approve the minutes from July 15th Board of Works meeting and the approval of claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
There isn't any old business, so we'll go right into new business. Request right-of-way permit for ramp and sidewalk extension located at 197 East Jefferson Street. TD Home Improvements LLC, Trent Duhamel? Is that you, Trent? Would you go up here, please? And okay, so tell us what you're going to do, Trent, what you're asking for.
Sure. So,
And the reason we do this, give your name again, it's on the record, and then they can record it. If you sit back there, we can't get it on the recording. So
Okay.
that's
Yep.
why we asked you to come
yep,
up.
Trent Duhamel. Purpose for the request is, currently there is a door on the east side of the building with a small step. That doesn't really fly with the city desires, so just wanting to do what's needed, to bring it up to code.
Okay, and you've worked with Planning Department, Joanna and her crew to make sure everything meets the standards it's supposed to meet, and we're
Yes.
here entering in the right of way a little bit. Is that correct?
We are, yes.
Mark and Joanna, given our, or I guess it's
Matt.
Joanna. Oh,
Matt and Joanna?
yeah, okay. We just came back from NDOT training on Thursday, and so they were really, really big, and that's important, because if we violate NDOT's ADA rules, we lose all our federal funding, which loses all our state funding. So we've got to be very, attentive to this. So we're still okay with our public right-of-ways being big enough and meeting all the standards.
Yes,
Is that true?
yeah, that is true.
Okay,
Yeah, I've taken a look at the drawings and it has, basically, it's got the bump out around the ramp and the railing and everything required for the ramp and these grades and everything, so.
Matt, Joanna, and Mark and I gave up 5 hours of our life. We'll never get back talking about measurements, so primacy is on my mind. So thank you, Matt, for looking into that. Yeah.
So that's a good point, because I'd like for everybody to realize that there's a lot of times, like even you folks, well, the city wants this, the city wants that. It's not always necessarily the city. We got the state stuff that we have to follow is usually what drives 90% of it, so.
Right, right.
So anyway, Joanna had told me earlier today that everything was fine, so, any questions?
Amy? Right here. So to kind of answer the question, by the photo there, you can see where the ramp comes out from the building and has the handrail. That'll be the portion that will be the ADA compliant ramp from the structure. And then you have the sidewalk to the east of that, which would meet the minimum requirements
Which is,
for.
did we say 3
Within
or-
our public right-of-way as the public sidewalk portion.
Was it 3 or 4? Did I learn that? 4 foot?
Minimum, yeah.
4 foot
So I
minimum.
think you had 5 foot on your.
It's 6 foot proposed.
Okay, great,
We're good.
great, thank you.
I don't have any questions, Mayor. I will make a motion to approve the right-of-way permit for the ramp sidewalk extension located at 197 East Jefferson Street from TD Home Improvements LLC.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Trent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay, next item, request to close 4 parking spaces at 51 North Water Street, August 9th, 10th, and 11th. Joe Gruce. So it's not John Tranter. That's a good thing. So good to see you, Joe.
Oh, that's funny.
He's on medication, by the way.
Who isn't?
Yeah, so this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll be moving in. So it's actually probably 5 spaces if possible. If not, I'll make that work. Just room for a stake bed truck and a trailer. I can't get in and out of the alley, so.
Okay, and the reason I made the joke, John Tranter and I are good friends, and of course, he harasses me and I harass him.
Sure.
So, anyway, thank you, Joe, for moving back to town. And
Thank
I just
you.
want to take this opportunity to apologize, not being at your ribbon cutting.
Not at all.
I was out at that time.
I appreciate
so
that.
Thank you, appreciate you moving to Franklin. Okay, I don't have any questions. We do have a requirement to put plywood, but these are trucks, right? So what we said, they're,
Just pickup, stake bed, 1-ton truck and a pickup truck.
okay.
So nothing's going to be on the ground like a dumpster or anything of that
No,
nature?
no,
Okay.
just
Move-
tires.
moving.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the street department will get with him to block off the spots that
Yep.
we need blocked
Yeah, we'll
off.
post it on Thursday
Okay. All right. I'm good with it if everybody else
or
is.
Wednesday.
Yeah. I'll move to approve the request to close 4 parking spaces at 51 North Water Street on August 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, next item. Repeal Chapter 7, replace with new LETB, state mandated policy. Police Chief Kirby Cochran.
Mayor, the short version is that this is basically to repeal Chapter 7 of the Rules and Regs related to use of force in order to comply with the Law Enforcement Training Board's new state mandate policy, specifically regarding use of force.
I appreciate the Kirby Chief reached out to me even before I reached out to him about the new law. What was, if you recall, not long ago, we have modified our use of force. And so we're ahead of the game a bit. However, the recent legislature also passed or had the Law Enforcement Board give a very specific use of force policy. And interestingly enough, in the legislation, they indicated that local law enforcement could not modify that policy in any way. So rather than try to supplement ours with the new requirements, I felt it was something that was mandated from on high that said we had no authority to modify it in any way. So this is exactly verbatim what came out of the legislation.
Okay.
Kirby, got one little comment, it's not really a question. Do you have your on-site facility, your training facility upstairs? Do you guys, as this new policy, do you guys train for that?
Yeah, everybody has this new policy, and we have mandated 4 to 5 hours worth of just defensive tactics related to this particular policy that we're actually starting. So it's all in place.
I thought so. I saw it in there that it mentioned training, but I know you guys have a really nice facility up there, so
Yep, thank you.
appreciate it.
I'll move to approve the repeal of Chapter 7 and replace with the new LETB, state mandated policy.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, next item, request approval and execution of change orders 1 and 2 for the Active Adult Center project. City Engineer Matt McLeay.
McLeod?
McLeroy.
McElroy.
Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, this is change orders 1 and 2 for the Active Adult Center. Change order 1 is a reduction, and it's based off of a tile credit we received for the flooring. It's a reduction of $6,482.37. So change order 2 is an addition to the contract, and it's for added sidewalk, new signs, and building revisions required. And it's an addition of $5,295.75, but that brings the overall net change order cost of a reduction of $1,186.62. So at this time, I'm requesting approval and execution of both change orders 1 and 2 for the Active Adult Center.
I got a little lost in the paperwork on this one. So
Okay.
is the master carpet and tile and the, I think, ProSource, are they subcontractors of DeWeese?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yes.
okay.
And they're pretty generally used suppliers to the contractors, almost exclusively. They
Yes.
work with contractors.
Okay,
Yeah.
so DeWeese was just supplying the supporting documentation?
Yeah.
The change orders?
Yeah.
Okay,
They're ultimately responsible for them, correct? They're ultimately, Deweese is ultimately responsible.
Yes, correct. Yeah, so they bid the project at a certain amount, and then once they got that, yeah, they got the reduction basically from their supplier, so.
They pass it on to us.
We like to see those reductions. Keep them coming.
But we also like to see the paperwork, so I think
Yeah.
it's, I know it's a lot, but it's nice to see why they came up with it.
Yeah.
okay. I'll move to approve and execute change orders number 1 and 2 for the Active Adult Center project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Matt. Okay, next item, approval and execution of outdoor lighting service agreement for Kingsbridge Section 1 and West Wind at Cumberland Section 2. Senior Planner Joanna Tennell.
Good evening. Kingsbridge Section 1, which is being developed by Platinum Properties, they will be installing 10 streetlights within that section. The estimated monthly charge will be $92.80 to the city of Franklin, and this is ready for acceptance and execution and request that the mayor sign on behalf of the board.
The lump sum payment of 56 is paid by the developer, correct?
It is. And then for West Wind at Cumberland Section 2, that is also being developed by Platinum Properties. They will be installing 7 streetlights, and the estimated monthly charge for that will be $52.22, with a lump sum amount of $20,031.15 being paid for by Platinum Properties. This one's also ready for acceptance and execution, and have the mayor sign on behalf of the board.
Good. I'll move to approve the execution of the outdoor lighting service agreement for Kingsbridge Section 1 and West Wind at Cumberland Section 2 as presented, along with approval for the mayor to sign off on those corresponding contracts.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Joanna, will they be installing LED? So we want to, okay.
All new streetlights
Will come in
are
from this point
LED.
forward, LED. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next item is going to be Matt McElroy, and I'm going to let you read it all. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, bear with me on this one. Yeah, we're going to request following performance letters of credit and subdivision performance surety agreements be released for homesteads at Hillview, Section 3 and 4. Performance for Section 3, we have letters of credit 18025-10-2 for streets. That amount is $377,406.01. For Section 4, the performance, we have letter of credit 18121-10-2, storm, sewers, swales, and underdrains, for an amount of $164,658.12. Letters of credit 18121-10-3 for earthwork and erosion control, for an amount of $271,559.76. Letter of credit 18121-10-4 for sanitary sewers, an amount of $24,660.00. Letter of credit 18121-10-5 for streets, in the amount of $246,702.60. Also requesting the following maintenance letter of credit and subdivision maintenance surety agreements be accepted for homesteads at Hillview Section 3 and 4. Maintenance for Section 3, letter of credit 18805-10-1 for streets in the amount of $78,626.25. Sorry, I got to catch my breath. Maintenance for Section 4, we have letter of credit 18815-10-1 for storm sewers, swales, and under drains in the amount of $34,303.78. Letter of credit 18815-10-2, earthwork and erosion control in the amount of $56,574.95. Letter of credit 18815-10-3 for sanitary sewers in the amount of $5,137.50. And letter of credit 18815-10-4 for streets in the amount of $51,396.38.
Mr. Mayor, if I might, I serve on the Board of Directors of Mutual Savings Bank, who issued these letters of credit. I did not participate then, recused myself when these were presented to the Board of Directors of Mutual. But as my client, you should know that, and I did recuse myself, did not participate in that.
Thank you. Any questions?
I'll move to approve the request for releasing the following performance letters of credit and subdivision performance surety agreements at homesteads at Homeview, Section 3 and 4, as presented by Assistant City Engineer Matt McElroy. I'll also move to approve the maintenance letters of credit and subdivision maintenance security agreements be accepted for homesteads at Hillview, Section 3 and 4, as presented by Assistant City Engineer Matt McElroy.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
See, that wasn't bad, Matt, at all.
Great.
Yeah, just had to catch my breath.
Yeah.
A lot to read.
Okay, we'll go on to the next one, which is you as well. Request the following performance bonds be accepted for Bluffs at Youngs Creek, Section 5B.
Okay, we only have one on this one, so we're good. Got a request of performance bond for Bluffs at Young Creek, Section 5B. Letter of credit 6297-30-1 for erosion control, $224,047.86. And this is also contingent on, we haven't released the land disturbance permit for this. We're still waiting on inspection agreements and other paperwork from the developer. We just wanted to get this on the record.
Same disclosure with regard to the letter.
Okay, thank you, Wayne.
Make a motion to accept the performance bonds to be accepted for Bluffs at Youngs Creek, Section 5B.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Matt. Okay, next item, ratification of disposal of salvage equipment, city attorney, Lynn Gray.
Thank you. I'm not smart enough to be an engineer, sir. This is, I'm asking the Board of Works to ratify the sale of cell phones to Firefly. And let me tell you how this came about and why it's a ratification. The Clerk Treasurer's Office received a check for $400, the amount that's listed here, I can't remember, for $402, I believe. Oh, I've got the check right here. And reached out to me and asked, what should we do with this check that we received? Upon looking into it, the police department has a contract for cell service. And so we don't technically purchase phones. They come part of the contract that we get. And there was a desk drawer full of old cell phones that we really never purchased, and we never had a purchase order. And Deputy Chief Summers, being kind of forward-thinking when he was talking to them about our cell contract, said, what can we do with these old phones? And they said, well, if you send them in, we'll give you money for them. They've literally been there since prior to the time that they were in his desk drawer, prior to the time he became deputy chief. So we just sent them in, and they gave us the $402. The thought never occurred to him, quite frankly, probably wouldn't have occurred to me because we didn't purchase them, that this is technically disposal of old city property that was laying in the desk drawer. So I thought it appropriate to close the loop on this, to come forward to you and ask for your ratification that we could get rid of that salvage property that was sitting in his desk drawer and accept the $402 for that.
And does that go into the general fund or the police department?
It does. It goes into the general fund because technically it was the sale.
Okay.
It really wasn't the sale of city property, but I don't know how else you would classify it. It's something they gave us as part of the contract, so it would be.
It become our property at that
Somehow,
point.
when they gave it, we never bought it, but we got it, so,
Okay.
yeah. So I told him I'd bring it forward and just make sure you guys were okay with us getting money. And I'll clean out my desk drawer and see what I can come up with too. Well, maybe we all should clean out our desk drawer. And see if there's some stuff. So I'm asking, the formal request is to ratify the sale of the salvaged property to Firefly for the $402 received.
I'll move to ratify the sale of the salvage equipment as presented by City Attorney Lynn Gray.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. There isn't any other business, so we'll go to department reports. Chip, let's start with you this time.
There's going to be a couple of concerts between now and when we meet again. First one's this Saturday is Hops and Vines, and the band is Toy Factory. And then the next Friday, which I believe is the 16th, that is Crush, which is the Bon Jovi tribute band. So both of those are coming up before we meet again. And believe it or not, that's all I have. I went first today. I was off guard.
Perfect. Chief Cochran,
I have nothing, thank you, sir.
Chief Snyder,
Nothing tonight, sir?
Chief Sherry,
Yeah. Utility.
Nothing else. Thank you.
thank you.
Chief Rick?
Nothing, sir.
Okay, Krista,
I don't have anything.
sir.
The only thing I have is they've officially started on our roof.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they tore the roof off Saturday, coming back Wednesday. Hopefully by Friday, we've got a new roof.
Weather's, looks like it's going to cooperate with us.
Yeah, they got lucky, yes.
Yeah, good.
And just for the record again, the roof problem was created by the tornado over a year ago.
April of last year, yes.
Yeah, so, okay. Carrying right along with the county courthouse project.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. Joanna,
Nothing additional.
Sherry,
Sally,
Sally?
I do. We are installing that's okay, I understand. We're installing an auger out at our biosolids building under contract, and they got it installed today, and we should have startup on Thursday, so we're excited about that.
Was there a time frame? I thought we heard it was going to be like at end of June.
Yeah,
It was supposed to be end of June, and we're, of course,
Just
just
now.
starting August, but, okay. All right, thank you. Jan? Okay, how about you?
Nothing, thank you.
Nothing? Ken?
I don't have anything, Mayor. Thank you.
Lynn?
Yes, sir.
I don't have anything else. Thank you, the A-team, what you all do, and keep Franklin moving forward. Thank you. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.